I will do it later. My present self and my past self. How do they become lifelong friends? Well, it's mostly the job of my present self and his ability to control one of his favorite phrases, "I'll do it later." This is a phrase I became very familiar with. I became a master at dodging the present, an expert deceiver, someone who would do anything to avoid finishing something that made me deeply uncomfortable because the temporary solution felt easier. Don't deal with it at all. I became the specialist in pretending the task didn't exist. I could come up with some trivial task that suddenly felt more urgent, just to hide that thing that couldn't really be hidden. I could even convince myself that something far more consequential and unavoidable, like working out, had to be done first. But later is a debt, and eventually, the bill arrives. This started with my parents, especially my mom, the original hater of the phrase, "I'll do it later." Back then, using that line was risky. My mother definitely did not accept later as an answer, so procrastination was strictly regulated by parental presence. Then I moved out, and the script changed. There was no one left to tell me that later was a bad idea, so it quietly became the most comfortable option. Why wash the dishes tonight when I'm exhausted, if I can just do it tomorrow before going to university or after I get back or the following night? Later becomes a moving point in the future, one that keeps drifting forward until it can't move anymore. And by then, the damage is already done. The reason is simple. I refuse to act at the beginning. At some point, I had clearly become my own worst enemy when it came to facing important tasks. I did mature over time. The harmless versions of later stopped disrupting my daily life. I learned that not washing dishes today meant a very particular smell tomorrow. Not doing laundry meant not having my favorite clothing to wear. So with a bit of discipline, I managed to handle the small laters. But as I matured, my laters matured too, into something far more complex and far more ruthless. I started postponing things that should never be postponed. The kind of things mature adults should know, yeah, I have to do this now or I will hate myself tomorrow. A big one, my credit card. I mean, at 25, with your first job, checking your credit card statements feels irrelevant until it isn't. Suddenly, you become very familiar with something called interest. You knew it existed. You just didn't think it would affect you that much. Until it did. I am very much aware I probably lost a lot of money in interest simply because I didn't want to face it. Looking at my statement made me extremely uncomfortable at that moment, so I would just pay whatever I could and move on with my life. Is that procrastination? I don't know. Maybe not in the classic sense, but I was definitely avoiding dealing with it. This feels worse than the simple procrastination. It isn't as harmless as postponing a chore or skipping a hobby. It's not like, I didn't go to the gym today, tomorrow I'll magically gain 10 kilos. Or, I didn't do laundry, I'll have to go to work naked. It's more like cause and effect. Big effect. Like holding a lighter in the middle of a dry field. Whether you spark it or not could start a fire. That's how volatile it is. How many turns of the clock before everything goes up in flames? I once applied to multiple jobs using the exact same resume, despite repeated advice to tailor it to each position. For some reason, there were always slightly more important things to do than securing a new job. What happened? I spent months in unstable work that slowly drained my well-being. The longer I let important tasks slide, the greater the risk that what follows is worse. And the more I resent my past self for not doing what I knew should have done. It's a domino effect. Every time I say, better later, I place another tile, extending the chain reaction. But to the point, what could be so bad that it pushed me to make a YouTube video about it? The most obvious one. Postponing hitting the subscribe button. If you don't do it now and leave it for tomorrow, chances are you won't do it tomorrow either. Going back to the main topic, is it really that dangerous to leave things for later? Will your food burn in the oven if you decide to take it out after your favorite TV show episode finishes, even though there's still half an hour left and the alarm has already gone off? Or what about that parking ticket I ignored for a few days because it was uncomfortable to think about it, which later turned into a higher fine because I missed the deadline? So how have I tried to fight this tendency? I created a character, Future Sam, my future self. Future Sam will be very uncomfortable if present Sam doesn't finish this task. Future Sam will probably curse present Sam for not doing it. So I ask myself, how do I want future Sam to feel? I definitely don't want him to feel miserable because of something I chose not to do. So I might as well do it now. That way, future Sam will appreciate me. This little exercise has helped me a lot. I mean, if you have the power to influence how you'll feel in the future, why would you choose to feel bad? As my grandmother, always so wise, used to say, the road to failure is paved with tomorrows. And maybe that's what later really is. Not just a delay, but a direction. Present Sam doesn't want future Sam to walk toward failure. So present Sam has to start laying a different path. One small action at a time. Today, not tomorrow.